the new Street Fighter collab, along with a bunch of other new stuff. So let's start off with the shop. You have the Street Fighter 6 Ultra Bundle, which will give you the, I'm gonna butcher some of these names, the Blanca Winston skin. Weapon looks really nice. Skin looks really good. The Cammy Widowmaker skin looks really nice. Looks really good. The gun looks clean. The Chun-Li Juno skin. Gun looks really cool. And torpedoes be looking really nice. Got the Zenyatta Dalashim skin. I have no clue on who this character is. I'm gonna be real. I like the skulls for the orbs though. You got, I think that's Gilly. Soldier 76 skin. I have Jade on, so it looks a little weird, but looks good. The Juri Kiriko skin. I have gold on yet again, so everything looks a little weird. The Ryu Hanzo skin, and yet again I have Jade on, so. And then the M Bison skin, which looks really sick. They're highlight intros, so you got Cammy wins.
Cammy wins.
Oh, wait, it says... Okay. Let's try that again.
Cammy wins. Guile wins. M. Bison wins.
These are very interesting.
Chun-Li wins. Here comes a new challenger.
Interesting. And then they all have emotes.
Hadouken!
Digga. Spinning bird kick.
And then we got all of their victory poses, which is just a short little animated thing. It's just their emotes. Yeah, it's the same thing as their emotes. Some of them are different. And then you got weapon charms. You got the Chun-Li Mari. Every single character has... Oh no, there's only 5 characters with name cards. And then every single character, I believe, has an icon. No, only 6. Who's the character that doesn't have Winston? Winston doesn't have a name card, but he has an icon. Interesting.
Cannon spike.
Hadouken!
I'm game if you are. Gipping. Digga. Lightning kicks.
Psycho Crusher! Bow down before my psycho power.
Rookie mistake.
Shoryuken!
Sonic boom.
Spiral arrow.
Yoga fire. Yoga flame.
It's a very cool bundle. And you can buy them in 2 separate things. You got the Mega 1 bundle, which has the Hanzo, Juno, Sig, and Zen skin. And then the second bundle has Winston, Kiri, Widowmaker, and Soldier 76. And you can buy them all separately, obviously. Nothing else interesting in the shop other than that, but the mythic weapon, which we will try out in the practice range.
Don't worry, I'll be
Alrighty,
right
so
behind you.
first off, biggest thing is the reactivity on the bottom. And you have your little friend.
You're being
Healing,
fine now.
very nice effect on the staff. Makes him very happy.
Amplifying your
And
power.
damage boost. This thing is adorable. I don't think... Oh, Blaster is different. It makes different sounds. And it shows an angry face when you're shooting. We have the kill effect, which is a little heart blast. Reload's really cool.
Fully focused.
And then we have the weapon inspect, which... Eh, that's cute. What does the weapon inspect on the gun? Nothing. So the weapon inspect is only on the staff.
Heroes never
And then when
die.
you ult, is there anything different?
Activating healing streak.
Nope.
Now who's taking target practice?
But that's basically the skin right there.
My duty is being done.
Pretty nice looking weapon skin.
Gesundheit.
Alrighty, let's get into the patch notes now for this patch. Okay, first up on the list, we got Hazard. His ledge climb animation time was reduced from 0.6 to 0.4 seconds, meaning you climb a little less because the animation finishes a little sooner. But you can still climb up enough if you try hard enough. And his Spike Guard lifesteal with his Anarch Zeal major perk, the lifesteal was increased from 25% to 40%. So, top over here. That's kind of crazy. That's all for Hazard. The only other tank to get changes this patch was Reinhardt, with his Fire Strikes getting a faster projectile speed, with it increasing from 25 to 30 meters per second, and the recovery time between them was reduced from 0.23 to 0.45. So you can throw both Fire Strikes a lot faster, and they move a lot faster. Freya is getting her first nerf, being that her time between her dashes, the cooldown has been increased from 3.5 seconds to 4 seconds. For all my Genji mains out there, I am sorry to report that Genji is not going to be getting anything fun other than a nerf. His ammo clip size has been reduced back to the 24 from 30, but his primary fire projectile speed has been increased to 75 meters per second, which is a pretty noticeable margin. Hanzo will be getting 2 buffs, with the time between draws being reduced from 0.8 to 0.72, and his major perk, being the health pack hack or Sonic Disruption, now hacks health packs for 30 seconds instead of 12. Pharah will be getting 2 nerfs this patch, with her drift thrusters and her concussive implosion perks. Concussive implosion now has a 50% reduced radius, which I think makes it about 5 meters. Still pretty big, but it is a big nerf to her. And the other one is she moves 20% less in her barrage with drift thrusters. Next up is Reaper, and he will be getting a buff with his Dire Trigger's recovery time being reduced from 0.3 to 0.5 seconds. I believe that means you can shoot faster with it in between shots. I believe that's what that means. I could be wrong, so don't quote me on that. Next up on the list is Soldier 76, with him getting 2 changes to his stim pack. The first one is more of a quality of life change. Now, instead of you pressing the ability button and then having to choose between stim pack and healing, it is 2 separate buttons. with
Heals coming
Stim
up.
Pack now being bound to whatever your switch weapon key is, and his Biotic Field staying and the ability 2 slot, or ability 3 slot rather. The other change is that now it does not anti him, it only takes 75 HP from him, which is a big buff for him. Sombra got 2 nerfs to her translocator. The fade in time increased from 0.15 to 0.3 seconds, meaning it takes her a little longer to get into stealth. But on top of that, the stealth reveal duration was increased from 1 second to 1.3. Not that big of a change, but definitely noticeable for those Sombra mains out there. Last but not least, in the DPS roster, we have Widowmaker, with the first thing being her damage per bullet has been increased from 13 to 14, but the maximum spread was reduced from 3 to 2 degrees. That's 2 buffs, actually. She'll be shooting a lot tighter than normal in her SMG form, which makes Widow 76 a little more viable. And on top of that, her Deadly Duix perk, which allows her to have a second Venomine, was buffed as well, with the Venomine bonus damage being increased to 100. Just so you get to see what that looks like, that's like 125 damage. Meaning 2 Venomines can do like 300 damage now. Really good buff for Widowmaker. Only 2 supports got changed as well this patch, with the first one being Alari. Her secondary fire now reaches 20 meters, which is big. That's about that large of a radius. Gives you a lot more range when healing people. That's about 20 meters. So, that's a big buff for her. Last but most certainly not least, we have Lifeweaver. His first change is the auto charge rate of his healing blossoms was increased by 25%, which is going to allow you to sit and just let that ramp up a lot faster. And his Super Bloom perk now only requires 16 bullets instead of 20 to explode somebody. So big changes for Lifeweaver.